What's up, YouTube? It's the Godfather Tank D back with another video.
Yes.
Y'all know who I got. Introduce yourself.
Hectic the backpacker, the whack rapper, backslapper.
Huh?
Bars.
Listen, so we about to get into this next video. This should be a good one. Let's get straight to it.
Abortion is murder, and I still support it. 3, 2,
That
1.
is a great question.
Whoa. And I still support it. We got disagrees all across the board.
I don't want to get blamed for.
Let's get it.
Y'all got that
Let's
one
get it.
person. Y'all got that one person.
Let's get it.
So look, just in case y'all are new to these type of videos from Jubilee, essentially what they do is they ask a question, and then these people are anonymous and they get to answer the question. If the color is blue, that means they disagree. If the color is red, that means they do agree. So
Shouldn't it be the other way around? I don't know. Maybe it's
you
just
would
me.
think so, yeah. Now that you're saying that, you would think so.
Maybe
but
because the questions they asking is normally on the negative side, so they want to be like, you agree with this negative shit, you in the red. And if you disagree, you in the clear.
so yeah, so that's essentially how it works. Look, let's get back to the video.
For this, but I have a rationale.
Why they making her go first?
Because she's
What
the
if you
only
could
person
speak your mind
that was
without
different.
fear of judgment?
Let her hear all the other arguments and then come with her rebuttal.
We brought together 7 strangers, protected their identities, and created a space for them to be completely honest. What will be revealed when they take the mask off?
Mask off.
Wow.
I have slut-shamed someone.
I have.
I have. I got a whole song about it. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I think slut should be shamed.
Hell yeah, I have.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I probably did it last week. You know what I mean? Like, I think I don't do it to people's faces,
do
but
it
like,
last week.
misogyny runs so deep. I'm gonna think bad things about a girl that's prettier than me. I'm gonna like, oh,
Oh, no.
Is that the same thing as slut shaming, or are you just jealous?
That's what I think that is, man. He just or she.
Oh, Mabel.
Yeah, Mabel is just a hater. First off, when you got an old school name like Mabel, first off, look, you know she a little heavy set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be heavy set with a name like Mabel.
Bro.
think that. I went to Catholic school, so we were forced to sign chastity cards, like physical cards.
Oh, hell
What
no.
in the
had
world?
presentations where they literally would like
You
wrap
are
a
not
present and then like rip it apart and kick it and be like, this is
all
what happens when you have sex before
qualified.
marriage. And like, I was definitely kind of to some of my like first friends who had been like having sex for a while or whatever. It's definitely partially a product of like religion.
Where were you
and
in the
way
Christian
that this whole
video?
country is tied into
guess
Protestantism
you're
and
Catholic.
everything as well.
Is that
When I was
different?
in the 8th grade, there was this girl. My friend
Another
group, they
big
was
one.
slut shaming
Shame.
her because
Oh,
We were just talking about
man.
obesity in this country, right?
Yeah, and
So are we going to talk about the connection between physical health, mental, spiritual, and emotional health? Or are we just going to let this girl slut shame people
listen.
at
So
300 plus pounds, it looks like?
if you're morbidly obese, you don't have any right shaming anybody,
Nah.
and that's just my take on the matter.
she was always like hypersexual, and once me and her got close, I found out that she was sexually assaulted, and so ever since she told me her story, I stopped slut shaming. Even if I don't agree with what someone is doing, I just say that is their business and they will take it up with God.
No.
Sister.
Listen, look.
All right, so you
There's
remember how the Christians was talking about how they would go over and say, like, this is what God wants for you because we don't want you to go to hell. She's
Right.
just like, well, listen, I'm going to just let God take care of that, and I'm going to stay away from that. And
But my thing is there has to be a balance between it. And there's a time when you can go a little bit harder and a time to be a little bit softer and just a time to just talk,
Yeah, it depends on the sensitivity of the subject matter we talking about.
Exactly. And in this particular case, when you just say, like, you have the one extreme where we're going to be all in your face and tell you that, you're sinning and you're going against God. Then you have the other extreme where it's like, well, I'm just not going to say anything.
Right.
And it's like, no, at the end of the day, if she is acting that way, she still needs help.
Right.
And you're not helping her by not saying anything.
And you know what? on both sides of the extreme, it only leads to them doing repeating the same behavior.
Exactly.
If you all in her face, oh, you this and you that, and she's gonna be like, all right, cool, slut walk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you're not doing anything at all, you just
she's gonna think it's okay.
You're approving the behavior by not disapproving. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. right. Look, let's keep going.
On their judgment day, it don't got nothing to do with me.
Here we go. Next
I've
one.
used my
Selfish.
sexuality for personal gain.
Sexuality, like being straight or gay or LGBTQ plus.
Listen, if
I
I'm
don't
gonna be
understand the
oppressed
question.
for it,
I don't understand the
I'm
statement.
gonna use it to my advantage when I want to. Like,
feel like you're white.
it's something.
So I think when they're saying like, do you use your sexuality for personal gain, meaning like for women, they'll like show a little cleavage or something like that to
get a raise?
get attention or to get a raise or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Where it's
know
like
how
you
to do
kind of
that.
like, well, for men that doesn't work.
That is unavoidable.
Okay, I think I misunderstood the question. Okay, so I like your answer. I'm gonna flip it. Oh, good. I was like,
Man, you
okay,
can't be
got it. All
changing
right,
your
all right.
answer.
Nah, you better have
My
a good.
whole life I felt
Wait,
like
did she
I
change
was
hers back?
Sexualized, and I was an early bloomer too. So I felt like I was constantly sexualized as a child. When I got like past like losing my virginity and then being groomed and then being assaulted, and I got to the age where I was
Whoa. She
Whoa.
said being groomed.
Groomed. Define.
Right.
Being groomed for what? Or are you talking about like? I don't know what that means.
Well,
Being groomed for sex?
see, typically when you hear someone say they have been groomed, it means that they were basically around some type of a predator
Oh goodness.
and had been conditioning them to engage in acts with either underage people or people of the same gender.
Oh wow. So she's saying that she was groomed and then assaulted by the groomer.
I guess.
I just need context.
Yeah.
In the comments, y'all. Let me know what's going on right now.
like, that's so f***ed up that it was kind of like a revelation for myself, being like, if it's what'll get me like what I need, I'll use it.
Yeah. You know, like if I'm gonna get catcalled, I might as well get something out of it.
Like, not monetary personal gain, but internal personal gain. Like fitting in, getting positive reinforcement, that sort of thing. I still feed into the insecurity of, if I'm not getting that, like, what am I worth? And I feel like that's very dangerous. I'll be, getting dressed for a night out or to go out, and I'm like, why am I wanting to dress a certain way? What kind of attention do I really want to get?
All right, pause.
I think that's kind of like the point she was making. I think it's kind of valid because your appearance does matter. Your appearance does matter socially, and depending on how you dress and how you present yourself, you do get certain outcomes, and that's okay. But I think towards the end, she was kind of alluding like that's an issue, and it's not. It's just a societal norm,
What
because
I'm gauging what she's saying is like, it's like she's saying that she has a thing for negative attention, like she goes out for the catcalling or for the
right,
sexual
and that
attention.
means that your self-esteem isn't high enough because you need other people to validate you.
Exactly, and that is a problem.
I agree. It is.
Yeah.
Not all women should be believed.
Of course not.
Wow.
What
Are we
kind
gonna
of
be
question is
honest?
that?
Let's see. All women should be
Okay, I'm gonna
believed.
start here and then figure out if I change it later. I'm automatically switching.
How they supposed to be switching, bro?
I think that the
Stand on
first
it.
thing that jumped into my head that made me like go with, I agree with this is all those stupid ass white women that call the cops irresponsibly and without reason and stuff like that. That's sort of where my logic went.
And if I was to guess, because I know they're kind of changing their voice, she's probably a white woman saying that. That'd
I
be
was
my
thinking
guess.
that Sam was trans. I don't know nothing about it, but it just kind of gives me that vibe because of the things that she's saying. Is a lot of the same rhetoric from that community.
You know, Hector, you've been calling a lot of the women that we've been reviewing trans lately.
Nah, bro. Only the ones that fit the description, bro.
Let's keep going.
Went in on this, not so much regarding like SA and stuff like that, because I would support any woman in that. Even if she's lying, I'm still gonna believe her.
I feel like there's like a line.
What? What?
So you should be believing the liar because she's a woman.
That's some BS.
Is this not the rhetoric, though?
It is, and that's just crazy
All right,
to
that's
me.
all I need
That don't
to-
even make sense.
I just want to make sure I wasn't tripping. Go ahead.
Obviously, believe all women when it comes to, you know, sexual assault. But then there's like the line that
Wait, she just said obviously believe all women when it comes to that. No, you shouldn't
No.
obviously believe all women for anything. You shouldn't believe all of anybody for anything.
All of people. For
Because people
anything.
lie. People lie for various reasons. It could be for clout. It could be for monetary gain. It
Or
could be for
defense of, like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
of yourself.
of
You know what I'm
yourself,
saying?
or
Like,
the shame of rejection or whatever.
right. You shouldn't believe all of anybody. There needs to be some type of evidence. I'm
I feel
just
like
saying.
they knew they framed the question because they knew that somebody would go towards sexual assault. That's how I feel about this.
Right. They knew people were going to go there. And even in that particular instance, how many men have been falsely accused for that exact thing?
Too much. Too many.
So, I mean,
that have already
come on.
served sentences and then came out and it was like, oh, now she wants to be honest.
right. Like, man, no.
Nah.
We ain't believing all of nobody.
Let's go.
like knowing that people are bad. You know, there are people who want to do harm. And if they're a woman, then it sucks, you know? I guess why I went with this is to say, not immediately saying no right away. And to be like, okay, here we are. This happened. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think for me it comes from the misogynistic like idea
know
that
what
a
you're
lot of women
talking
just
about.
like lie because they're like Jezebels and you know, like they're just kind of, we're just like tricksters
said
for some
Jezebel.
reason. Like a lot of people, specifically men, think like, oh well, they're just
Wait, was that the same chick?
That's Mabel with the pies, bro.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
That's Mabel with the
Gotcha.
pies.
saying it to get fame or fortune or whatever. And I'm like, can you name one of the people that Bill Cosby assaulted? No. My initial, similar to you, is just like, yes, like I want to hear what this woman has to say because I've been lied to way more by men in my life than by women.
That does not mean
I
Canceling
don't
men
believe
is
that.
necessary for
I don't
progress.
even believe that.
Canceling men is necessary for progress.
Oh, come on.
Out of here,
It's a
bruh.
double-edged sword. I'm not necessarily pro cancel culture, but I'm pro holding people accountable. But I feel like
Not the same thing.
with canceling men, I feel like we saw this a lot with who was it, Andrew Tate. It was really good that we were bringing attention to it, and women saw how much of a scumbag he was. And I feel like a good amount of men did too. But at the same time, it became kind of like a joke. It became entertainment for men.
I agree with like accountability for sure. I feel like canceling someone or canceling a singer or a rapper or whatever, just like not listening to their music or not supporting them. But like men as a system, that's like not possible. They hold the power. So like not, you know, engaging with them isn't gonna like progress us any further. We have to engage with them to progress further.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, I do think that Simone was being reasonable in what she said as far as her approach.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue I have with this whole premise is framed in a way where men are solely the reason why we're in the predicament that we're in today, as if there are no other possible factors that could even remotely influence where society is going.
You got to look at our demographic. This is if feminists were 100% honest, which means that all of these women are feminists. So the whole idea behind the whole feminist thing is chop the head off of the man, hold it over your head, and roar like the woman beast you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but the thing about it is, that doesn't necessarily mean they agree with cancel culture. You follow what I'm saying? Like, in general. Yeah. It just means that it's like, well, we still want to do what we want to do, but this ain't the way to do it.
You need to be able to converse with the issue to have the issue fixed. Like, because if you like run to cancel someone, then they're going to be defensive and not learn anything from it.
Right.
Like if somebody really and truly, I think, should be canceled like fully, they should just be like convicted, like put behind bars. Like there is a crime, a real crime.
Sometimes jail doesn't even work because like Bill Cosby's out of jail. Like he got out on a.
Can we?
Can we
stop?
No. We will not talk about Bill Cosby on the Feminist video. This is not it. This is not.
Look, they talking about Bill Cosby got out on a technicality. He didn't.
All right, so look, I didn't want to touch none of this because it's like they're saying it as if Bill Cosby getting out is like a jab to feminists everywhere.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That nigga old, bruh. He ain't out here doing nothing in 2023. He don't care about like nothing that y'all talking about. Like anything that y'all could talk about happened in the 60s, 70s, way back in the day. He has been an upstanding citizen for over 3 decades. Leave that nigga alone. Yes, hold him accountable for what he did back then.
Right.
I'm done. I get hot talking about that.
Technicality. It's exactly. I don't trust the system. Yeah. I as much as the example I'm currently always going back to is the Brock Turner case. Because if he raped a girl and he got 6 months probation, served 3 of it, and the way I've seen cancel culture help in that case, I feel like sometimes cancel culture can step in where the law and our government and our judicial system fail.
That's one person. That's not men.
But even in the Brock Turner case, like, that's still not the norm. In fact, I remember when that was happening, you had a lot of black people that was like, yo, like, this dude commits a crime and he basically gets a slap on the wrist. And, I jaywalk across the street and they're trying to lock me, my mom, my brother, everybody going to jail. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people was looking at that like, yo, this is a special case. Not to mention that correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was the guy who had connections with the judge and all of that or whatever. So like his family was close to him.
Everybody, bro.
And the average person don't got no political connect like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I agree that the system is not perfect. And I do agree that there are some people who can kind of circumvent it and get over on certain things. But to punish an entire gender, over half the population, that's just nonsense.
Abortion is murder, and I still support it.
Let's go. Feminist. Golly.
That's interesting.
Come on, make a decision.
I didn't think about the phrasing of the question.
Come on now.
I don't want to get flamed for this.
No, but I
have a rationale.
Come on, y'all.
So I
100%.
Anybody that wants an abortion should have full access, no barriers, everything.
So
I think.
All right. So before
bro.
she even continue, I just want to point out this quick fact. If you notice, a lot of times how they vote, they almost vote like a block.
Yeah.
It's like a group thing. And it isn't until someone else makes a different decision that's when everyone else be like, okay, well, actually, yeah, I think that too.
Don't nobody else want to be the only one.
Right. But there's always that one person's like, yeah, I don't think I necessarily agree with that. And all of a sudden, everybody going back, yeah, let me change my answer.
Roll it back. Because I think it's the one that's all the way on the far right. That's the one that's always the oddball out, yo. Like, roll it back. See, everybody is in agreement, and then the one right here on the far right, she's like, you know what, I can't roll with y'all.
Right. Yeah.
And then they be like, yeah, you right.
Yeah. Right. But that lets you know that these aren't critical thinkers.
Nah.
These are sheep. Because if nothing else, this proves that. Yes. They can't even make a decision on their own, just based off of their own independent thought, unless they see someone else make a different decision. They're like, okay, well, yeah, maybe I don't feel that way. Maybe
just to be clear, we're talking about this group of individuals.
Yeah, we're talking about this group.
We're talking about what we're looking at right now.
Right.
I didn't think about the phrasing of the question.
I don't want to get flamed for this.
No, but
I have a rationale. Yeah.
Sam.
And even her.
Sam
is like, I don't want
100%. Anybody that wants an abortion should
problems.
have full access, no barriers, everything. I think, and I'm not even sure I agree with saying that it's murder, but I think that
Then what is it?
sometimes people talk about abortion very callously and ignore the like trauma that is associated with it, even if you have zero regrets, like it's the best decision you've ever made in your life. Women that I've, listened to and heard from and read, opinions from, it's still like a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but I think just the weight of it now has been lessened a little bit. I think that is shifting back again though because of the awful recent events. But I would say for the past like 5 years or so, I've just heard it in my own communities,
So
like
are you
tossed
agreeing
around
or disagreeing?
lightly.
I don't know if she's agreeing or disagreeing or not. But
I
I
think
do
she
think
wants to
it's-
be neutral, but she doesn't want to always follow what the group is saying.
But I do think that it's ironic that all the same points that we made in the Christian video,
Yeah.
she's making those points now in regards to the whole abortion thing.
Check out the Christian video. It should be in the description or somewhere over there.
And I don't necessarily think that it should be handled really lightly.
I agree with like the latter half of the statement. I feel like it's like if it were to be considered murder, I would still support it.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, then yeah, I would say so.
Because come on, bro.
It's still
Stop it.
man.
Stop it.
Because all right, so now what you're saying is
You're okay
some
with
murder it's okay.
bro. You're okay with murder.
Now here's what I will say. I don't necessarily disagree with that statement.
I follow what you're
But
saying.
I think they need to be consistent though. Because
That-
they're not being consistent
That's
at
the
all.
problem that I have with this whole thing, more so than what's being said. What I don't like is that one person can say, this is how I truly feel, and everybody is like, yeah, well, I agree with what you're saying, so I'm gonna go ahead and change my answer.
But look, they went from all blue
to one red,
then they
to
got a little
halfway.
mix, and then someone says something, and now everybody all red again.
Everybody's red.
Well,
again.
all red now. So how you go from all blue to all red? This lets you once again, these people aren't critical thinkers, man. They can't critically think. They cannot think on their own for
but like you
nothing.
were
They
saying,
have to follow the crowd.
But like you were saying, no, I don't necessarily disagree with that stance, but I don't also all the way agree with it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like one of those things where I don't agree with, let's say, me taking another person's life, but if a person is trying to take my life or trying to take the life of my kids, they
Right.
got to go.
Right.
That's just where I stand.
Nah, I understand.
That doesn't mean
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with murder that it should be a good thing, but
Right,
I
and
will
that's
support
how
taking
I
a
feel
person's
about it.
life
Right.
in defense of my own or my children.
Right. And that's how I feel about
You feel me?
it. Right.
even if it is murder, it's not an easy choice. Like that makes it even more of a difficult conversation, It's like such a deeper thing.
This question is actually making me really emotional because
She had one.
I just gave birth in February.
Stillbirth.
I love my son.
Oh,
He's like
birth's still gone.
my
He's
world.
still there.
But
But what, Shay?
when I touch your hand, thank you.
What are you saying right now?
I recently thought I was pregnant again. And I'm not in a position to have another baby right now.
Oh no.
Any baby I may go on and keep. But I knew if I was pregnant this one, I wouldn't have been able to keep. So, and I just know, like some people who I know, they wouldn't have understood it. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
My heart
look.
goes out to Shay, man.
My heart goes out to her,
However,
but here's what I gotta say.
what's up, man?
I understand how she feels because I could never imagine not having my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you were in a position where you could have been pregnant again, that lets me know that you're not being responsible.
Well, that doesn't necessarily equate. because this could have been a thing where there was that 1 point out of the 99.9% that the condoms guarantee.
Again, that's very unlikely. More than likely, she wasn't being responsible. Let's just keep it 100.
All right. Well, look, even in that case, my problem isn't that, she experienced what she experienced. My problem is she was blue at the top of this conversation.
Fair.
No, it's not like people are maliciously trying to, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a choice, and am I going to be able to provide for myself and my already born child? Or, is this going to be healthy for my mental health? It's not like
It's
you
not
are maliciously
just about
bound to
you. Like, that's the part that it's just so selfish when I listen to these women, specifically feminists, talk about abortion, because it always turns around to be about them.
Yep.
Not about the child,
Nope.
not about the father,
Nope.
not about the families
Nope.
that are going to be affected, yours and his. Nobody considers that at all. And it's always about how I'm going to feel, what my body's going to look like. And it's all about you,
And
you,
my
and
feelings
you.
and
You know what I'm saying? And that is
my
just
emotions.
so selfish. And it's just like, I just can never wrap my mind around it, because once again, we had a conversation earlier about how, if anything, this should show a failure of community. And we kind of talked about that in another video. But essentially, if you ever feel like you don't have the support at all, that means that you need to change your circle. You don't have a good, strong circle around you.
Yeah.
Because you should be in a position where if something does happen to you, you got people that you can lean on. Because that's what family, that's what friends, that's what your community is for. If something happens like that to you, you should never feel like I don't have nothing and I'm just stuck. It should be, okay, when that baby gets here, I'm not worried because I know my mama got me, my grandmama got me, my church got me, my man got me. More so, my husband got me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to start making better decisions as a society. You know what I'm saying? This goes for males and females. You got a lot of dudes that's being reckless. You got a lot of women that's being reckless. And unfortunately, nobody wants to take ownership and say, hey, listen, this failure isn't just an individual failure.
Yes.
This is a failure on all of us, because the fact that my daughter feels like if she was to get pregnant, that she's not going to have anybody lets me know that I failed as her father. Her mom failed as her mother. You see what I'm saying?
When we talk about selfishness in feminism, can you have feminism without selfishness? Let's
That's
talk
a
about
topic
that.
for another show.
Yes.
Bars.
Let's keep going.
destroy a clump of cells. It's your life, and that matters more than, in my opinion, than any kind of potential baby.
Absolutely.
This isn't
I
a
feel like
potential
because
baby.
of
It's
this,
a
of
actual live
the dissolve
thing.
of Roe v. Wade, like
Here we
I
go.
feel like I don't
Bring
even
that
want to
into
try
this
to have kids
conversation?
anymore. Like they're doing the opposite thing to us. There are so many women who want to try, but we've heard the stories of women who have miscarriages and go in and try to get seen by a doctor and say, we can't do that, so we call your lawyer. And I have so
That's
many health
not
issues.
how
I
that
have
works.
endometriosis, I have
it's
PCOS.
not.
Like I have everything under the female sun that could exist. I could very easily carry a pregnancy that's not good. I could very easily die from ectopic pregnancy. And the fear that if for one day this expanded and reached where I live, I could die, And it's
That
so
is-
scary.
Yo,
All right.
these people
Please
are
talk to
just
these people, bro.
completely
Talk to the people.
misinformed on how this works. First off,
Godfather.
Roe v. Wade doesn't ban abortion.
Nope.
That's not what that does. Them getting rid of Roe v. Wade essentially just said that we're going to allow the states to make this decision on what they want to do.
Facts.
And if it comes to a situation where a woman is at risk or something like that, she has a high risk pregnancy and they have to terminate the child or something like that, that is considered a medical emergency.
Yes.
In which case, they're still going to treat you. The difference is for those states that are saying, hey, we don't want to do abortion at all, which typically isn't the case. They're not saying we're not going to do abortion at all. They're saying we're not going to do abortion up until a certain point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that again, people are conflating this and saying, oh, well, they got rid of Roe v. Wade, so now what am I going to do? I can't have no abortion, and what happens if I get pregnant and I need to get rid of it or whatever?
I realized a lot, though, that these people are watching the internet as opposed to actually looking at the facts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if somebody's on the internet saying, well, now that Roe versus Wade went the way it went, now nobody can have abortion, then that's what they're going with. That they treat that as their research. That's the facts they're going
as
off
if it's gospel, and it's not.
The gossip is not the gospel. Let's go. Bars.
And it deters women like me who are on the fence from even wanting to have kids.
The future isn't female.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means either.
Somebody explain to me what the question.
As much as I want to fight for it, I see this misogyny in my brothers, and my father even told me when I was in high school. I asked him, I said, "Do you think men are superior to women?" And he said, "Yeah," to my face. I'm his eldest daughter, his only daughter.
What that got to do with the statement
so that
being
hurts.
made?
And to see that, it puts a really gray tone over the world for you.
I guess I'm super radical, and I'm like,
look, all right. I'm just gonna ask a question.
Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna ask a question. Y'all let me know in the comments how you feel, or actually like break down the answer. What are women more superior at than men? Y'all let me know in the comments.
I can see it now.
What are women more superior at than men? And what I want you guys to do is leave some type of reference to your response. Now, I'm not saying that men are more superior than women. I'm just asking a question for clarity.
All right.
What are women more superior at than men?
I hate to bring this up, but it sounds like you just want the whole facts. But anyway. But now, like, I can see where this is going, though. Like, there's this whole the gender norm type of situation. Well, we actually raise the baby, we carry him for 9 months, and we do this and we do that, and da 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 da. But then when you look at the tasks that men are doing in contrast to that, you're like, well, I wouldn't want to do none of that. I wouldn't want to be the person that has to do the things that solidify this society that I live comfortably in. You know what I'm saying?
Just end all of this stuff. And so I feel like feminism is for the time being. I want to end gender as a whole because I think it's binding and it's oppressive. So I feel like the future is neither female nor male.
I don't know.
Wait. I need some whole facts. Why? Where? When? Who?
What are you talking about, lady? Oh my gosh. Listen, we're different. I hate to break it to you. Matter of fact, this is for everybody on the internet. I hate to break it to y'all. But we're different.
Yeah.
And there is a binary. Sorry. I know it's news to some of y'all. I know y'all didn't attend, third grade science class. I know that humans are this super unique species out of everything else on the planet, including mammals, which we are classified as. I understand that we are just different. And supposedly that's supposed to give us some type of sense that we can get rid of gender. But I hate to break it to you, it ain't gonna happen.
They'd be like, we want to get rid of gender altogether, which is the social construct, which kind of makes some sense as it doesn't relate to actual sex.
It doesn't. The reason why is because when you look up the definition of these words, when you look at the definition of a woman, it literally says an adult human female. If you look up the definition of a man, it says adult human male. You literally cannot define the word without referring to the sex.
That is a
fact.
That's
a fact. It is what it is. Let's finish this video.
Yes, please.
I do like the concept of gender because to some degree, it is not who we are as a whole, but it does make us. I like identifying as a woman who are going to be the ones to be the voices for queer people and non-binaries, because it's not going to be cis hetero men.
That's true.
It's going to be women.
How could it though?
We're gonna have you put your masks back on.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'm gonna say this one thing, right? In reference to what she was saying, like who's gonna represent the queer community or whatever, and it's not gonna be cis heterosexual men, and I don't think it should be. Just the same way, I think that if you policing or a police officer and you're policing a block, you should actually be the demographic of that block.
Agreed.
You feel what I'm saying? In the same way, I don't think that a person outside of the LGBTQ community should be the one representing the LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That'd be a misrepresentation, because I don't have the same struggles as y'all. I can't speak for y'all.
Right. And
You
you
know what
shouldn't.
I'm saying? And I should
So the people
not.
who should be speaking for them are them. We appreciate y'all for checking out another video. It's been the Living Black Life podcast. I'm your host, the Godfather Tank D. I got my man.
Hectic the backpacker. The slim fat bastard.
You want to close this out?
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all comment, subscribe, click that bell for notification. Give us a thumbs up for that YouTube algorithm. And we gonna see y'all on the next video.
Peace.